Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, and here we are for race 7. Finally, I do apologise, it's taken me a while to get it up. No innuendo intended, but we are finally here for race 7, which is around Autodrome Maggiore East 2. So this is the Fusion Elite Lobby in the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, hosted by everyone's favourite group, the Mature Racing Club on Facebook. So without much further ado, we will go through the qualifying order. VLX Chewy doing an absolutely stonking job this week round in the GT86, managed to put it in pole position. For the guys that are watching this that play this game, they'll be aware that it's not the fastest car, so to put it in pole position in the Fusion Lobby in that car is quite the achievement there from Joe, so well done for that, Joe. Jumping to second, we have Moz. In third, we have Ribbit. White Shark Jim is in fourth. White Shark Phil in 5th, 6th is CJW, JRC is in 7th, 8th is Faithlessimo, 9th is Ginger Crackhead, Street Boy takes up 10th, ADG123 is in 11th, and Rick33 GCR rounds out the field with only 12ers this time in 12th. So without much further ado, we will jump on board and look back from Chewy as he gets this race underway for us. Waiting for the lights, revs are rising, and here we go. Whoa, bogged down a little bit there, Chewy there. The GTRs, the two GTRs behind, just pulling straight past. So Moz and Ribbit up into first and second. White Shark Jim in the Ford Mustang as well, doing a great job off the start. Gets himself up into third. So Joe losing out a little bit just because of bogging down a little bit off the start there. I don't drive the GT86, so I'm not sure how well it does start. So maybe a bit unfair on Joe there, just to be fair. So, looks like everyone's got away quite cleanly. No big dramas through the first couple of corners. JRC in 5th, the Faithlessimo and CJW just going a little bit wide, bit of understeer through that section. He has Ginger Crackhead side by side with him now, challenging. No room at the inn though, so Ginger Crackhead looking for the cutback as CJW defends the inside into the corner. Allows Ginger Crackhead the run on the outside in front as well. We've got Faithlessimo and JRC side by side. Faithlessimo on the inside on JRC. Looking for 5th position. Looking back again, everyone getting through there quite neatly. Side by side still in front. And JRC just about manages to pull ahead of Faithlessimo to cut him off for that 5th position. After that couple of corners side by side. Whoa. CJW nearly got caught out there. He took a different line to Faithlessimo in front, and I'm not sure Faithless saw him until the last second, so it could have been hit off track there quite easily, but luckily the skill of the Fusion drivers coming through once again, and no big drama for it. So Moz in 1st, Ribber in 2nd, we've got White Shark Jim in 3rd. White Shark Jim chasing Ribber down brilliantly in the Ford Mustang right behind him. Chewy just making good on these first couple of laps to try and get himself back up towards the top of this race. And just skip through. Seems as though it's quite a long time. Again, I do apologise for how long it's taken me to do this replay, but hopefully you still enjoy it anyway. But yeah, it seems as though it's actually quite a long time since we did the racing. I've kind of forgotten what happened, so I might actually get a bit more excited because kind of forgotten exactly what goes on. Oh, a bit of a moment there from Faithlessimo. Just lost a load of momentum, and White Shark Phil just manages to pull through. Skip up the camera angle now. Now we've seen the start, everyone getting away cleanly. Ginger Crackhead side by side. Faithlessimo's had quite a bit of action, and we're only on lap 2. Good stuff already. Oh, Street Boy just sending it down the inside. Touch of contact on Ginger Crackhead, and that's dropped him back into 12th. A little touch on the back of Street Boy through the last corner there as well, as it looked like the concertina effect caught everyone out a little bit. If you're not sure what the concertina effect is, it's where the people in front brake and... oh, I shouldn't have said that, it's hard to explain. Anyway. If you want to know, go look it up. I was trying to think a better way to explain it, but I can't. So It is a genuine thing though, rest assured. They always talk about it in real motorsport when it normally happens in the slower corners basically. So Chewy trying to make his way into third position here, putting a hell of a lot of pressure on the back of White Shark Jim. Filling his rear view mirror. White Shark Jim's trying to take in a bit of the scenery from behind, but he's got no chance as Chewy's just eating up that mirror space. What am I on about? Oh dear. JRC in 5th, White Shark Phil in 6th, still battling hard with CJW. CJW down the inside, goes a little bit deep though, which allows Phil just to take that position again. So CJW looks like he's having a bit of a good time in this one so far. He's had a couple of overtakes already, but seems to be going a little bit wide here and there, and maybe losing the position back. Fairplessimo going down the inside now on CJW. CJW getting the run out. Let's go on board. Getting a really good run out, manages to get the momentum on the exit and gets past Fairplessimo. So brilliant little tit for tat battle going on already here. These guys will be trying to just settle into this race. Oh, CJW just running a little bit wide with understeer. Luckily it doesn't cause any big dramas, manages to get away with it. Oh, it does go deep into there though. Maybe that's a sign of dirty tyres. He might have picked up a little bit of dirt and he's caught even more understeer through there. Fairplessimo not making good at that though. I thought he would have got the run after that one, but not this time round. Anyway, we'll jump up and see what else is going on. Watching from Rick's perspective behind, just watching the battle going on. Further ahead as well, we have it's White Shark Phil and JRC going door to door through the last corner. Oh, and in front we've got chaos. So what's going on here? We've got White Shark Phil, and we'll go back and watch that. So we'll jump up over White Shark Phil. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I've lost who it was. Right, we'll go aboard with Moz. Whoa, a little touch on the back of Jim there from Chewy, unintentional obviously. Oh, the Moz has just caught the back of White Shark Jim there, coming out of the last corner. Bit of heavy contact, and it's spun Jim's rear end, and that's it. He's lost it. So he's dropping right back down the order now. Is Jim down into 6th position, and he's been battling more or less for the lead up there. So that's an unfortunate one to see. Just a class that was a bit of a racing incident coming through the last corner. Meanwhile, this all means that Chewy has just gone from 4th position straight up into 2nd, and now him and Ribber have just got a massive gap to the guys behind to be able to concentrate on just pulling away and battling against each other. So we'll keep an eye on this, as Chewy looks very keen to get past at the moment. I'm going to say legend of Fusion is Joe Chu. It's always good to see him on track, racing away like I would expect, and battling hard for every opportunity. Do excuse me, I don't know what I'm babbling on about today. I'm just losing my thread a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad when I watch it back. Keeping it nice and neat and tidy. Pretty tricky couple of corners to come through those last two. So just making sure they get the power down at the right time, so they're not getting the oversteer going. Or more importantly, understeer as well. Is Chewy going for it? Nope. Not quite this time round. Oh. Does get the run a little bit on the exit, but Ribber in front in the GTR has just got the momentum to stay in front. So we'll skip back a little bit further. We've got White Shark Phil in 3rd at the moment, Moz in 4th. Not much going on for these guys, bit of a gap, so Moz is obviously trying to catch back up after that bit of an incident. JRC in 5th. And we've got Fairplessimo all over the back of him, bringing the train with him. And then Jim, so Fairplessimo goes wide, CJW in the background going wide as well. Quite a good perspective looking back from JRC here. Such a big train going on behind, and everyone taking slightly different lines as well, so it looks absolutely crazy. Oh, another moment for Faithful Seymour towards the back there in 10th position. Just goes incredibly wide again. Oh, in fact, have I got the right person there? Yep, it was Faithful Seymour. I get a bit confused between the liveries between Ginger Kraken and Faithful Seymour. They look pretty similar to me. So there's still a lot of racing going on, and to be had in this one, coming towards the 10-minute marker, nearly a third of the way through. Oh, nice and close on the exit there, running it side by side between Rig 33 GTR and Ginger Crackhead. This time round, Ginger Crackhead's got the pace and he's managed to get past. But if you look at that Jaguar, it was coming back at him then, so towards the end of the straight, that Jaguar's definitely got the higher top end speed. So all sorts itself out, and CJW actually jumps back up into 8th. CJW is going to give me a nightmare in this race, changing positions every corner. It's good to watch, but it's hard to commentate on. He'll know himself being a commentator. If you've never watched CJW as well, he's really he's an awesome commentator. Go check him out on YouTube. CJW Racing, I think it is. Faithful Seymour in 11th, so he's had a bit of a battle through this one and dropped back quite a way. Started off quite well in this race, and it was quite feisty, had a couple of good overtakes early on. Finds himself in 11th now. I think it was that moment when we saw CJW and Faithful Seymour going wide, and Faithful Seymour unfortunately just went a lot wider and ended up losing a lot of time because of it, so I feel that's why he's dropped down into 11th. So again, we will just keep an eye on what's going on, skip up the camera angle and settle into this one. Good close racing though, not much of a gap between these guys at the moment, in the midfield that is. Bit of a gap as we know further ahead between Chewy and Ribber. Oh, I will jump forward, Chewy's now in the lead with Ribber right on his tail. So great job, I've missed the overtake obviously, but somewhere along the way Chewy's got the job done. And Ribber's looking to get the vice versa going, if that's such a phrase. It's a phrase I've just made up. White Shark Phil's got his own little battle with Moz as well. White Shark Phil going well in the Scirocco. So Moz down the inside. Oh, just a little bit of contact there as they meet each other towards the exit of the corner. And Moz getting up into 3rd. Holds the outside line, there's Moz. Oh, a bit more contact there from Moz. So I'm not one to point out too many mistakes, but yeah, a little bit of contact here from Moz, as I think it has been mentioned. I'm playing dumb. I won't say anything else. Don't want to get myself in any trouble. Anyway, so we've got Chewy leading away from Ribber. Moz, as we've just seen, getting up into 3rd. White Shark Phil in 4th. White Shark Jim in 5th. So White Shark Jim's had a good last couple of laps to come back through the field. We did see him drop down after there was a little bit of contact, and he ended up having a bit of a spin. Ginger Crackhead in a very respectable 6th position as well, leading away from JRC behind in the GTR. Interesting this track actually. A few different car choices going on, so as you might have noticed through the previous weeks and the other races that we've had, there's a lot of people that pick the same car and they seem to use the same car on the same tracks, but this time around there is a few people opting for their second car choice, if you like, on this track, and some have gone for their first car choice, if that makes any sense at all. It did to me. JRC and CJW, what's going on here? Nice Greta Thunberg sticker on the back of CJW's car. Going for the inside, down the inside nicely as well, gets it done on the brakes. JRC going a little bit wide through the mid corner and the exit. Just completely different lines going on there. I thought CJW had it then, but JRC did well to keep that one going. It looked like he'd gone a little bit too deep to me. It might have looked, I thought he might have had to lift out to get, oh no, oh, So JRC just clipping the wall on the exit, and unfortunately CJW behind him with nowhere to go, so hit him and made that worse for JRC. No blame apportioned at all to CJW there, because like I say, he had nowhere to go. JRC right in front of him, just collecting the wall a little bit, and it ghosted, but it took a second till he ghosted, so CJW getting caught up in that a little bit. Don't think it affected him, he didn't lose a position, but it's never good. So, Street Boy, haven't said much about him yet in 9th, plodding away quite nicely. Faithful Seamo's got back into 8th now, a couple of laps back. He was in 11th, I will remind you, so doing a great job to make his way back to the field after a couple of early mistakes. CJW is no longer running it side by side every single corner, not until he gets to his next victim, Ginger Crackhead, that is. Oops, towards the halfway point now. I was expecting, I was just about to mention actually, the pit stops will be starting soon, but they beat me to it before I could say it. Moz diving in, River, White Shark Jim, and who else? Bloody everyone pretty much, other than Chewy. So Chewy's got this lap now just to drive around without any pressure on him whatsoever behind, try and get the lap of his life in so he can potentially come out of the pits in first position still. Ribber obviously trying to do the same on his fresh tyres, so he'll be trying to get the undercut, as it's known, coming in the pits one lap earlier and then trying to do the lap of your life on the fresh tyres when you come out, to try and gain that extra tiny bit of time that might make the difference in the pit stops. Ginger Crackhead in third now, Jesus. So with the pit stops it's mixed up the order. Ginger Crackhead doing a great job. Oh, I've gone a little bit deep into there just as I said that, and Moz just dives down the inside and makes his way through quite easily. Ginger Crackhead with a tiny bit of understeer there by the look of it, and just had to lift out of it and gather it all back up. It's all mixed up a bit now, so we'll now go. Oh no, I'll wait till the next lap when everyone's pitted. I don't know if Chewy, I can't remember now. We will find out, I guess. I can't remember if Chewy pitted in this one. I know last week he managed to do 2 races with no stops, so I imagine he'll be trying it again in this one, but we'll have to keep an eye on it and see if he manages it. A couple of positions changing up front, so well, no, it looked like it was flicking about as though there was overtakes going on. Just dodgy Gran Turismo weird stuff going on instead. Everyone has got a little bit of a gap to the car in front and behind, so the overtakes have died off a little bit. Saying that though, we have CJW and Faithful Seamo incredibly close together, both in the Nissan GTR as well. So the main difference with no setup on when you're in the same car is just down to the driver, which is always quite interesting. But CJW, I don't know if he really enjoyed. I know he wasn't looking forward to these tracks on this week, but it looks like he's had quite a good race to enjoy. I don't think many of us saying that. I don't know why I've just said CJW. I don't think many of us were looking forward to this week. An odd couple of tracks, these two, and pretty similar in the way that they're both quite heavy on tyre wear as well. So. It's hard to pick which car you wanted to use on which one. Well, I personally thought so anyway. Street Boy just having a steady one, just seems to be stuck in 9th position. Hasn't really seen him. So no, don't do it again. No, he has as well. I saw the understeer and I feared it was going to happen again, and yeah, JRC putting it into the wall on the last corner again. It is a bit of a tricky last corner. It's a bit tighter than you think, so if you do get a little bit of understeer, you miss the apex a little bit, you are heading towards that wall, so it's really easy to make that mistake. And it doesn't look like that tricky a corner, but when you're actually driving it, I'm sticking up for JRC there a little bit. It is a corner, it's not the easiest. You obviously want to try and push on the exit on a corner like that as well to gain as much speed down the straight as possible, and rightly so, that's the idea of racing. But doing that obviously introduces the odd occasion where you get a bit of understeer and you have those problems. So fair play Simo, I think he's spent a good proportion of this race off the track, but he's kept it going every single time, so he must have been playing a bit of Dirt Rally 2 recently. He certainly upped his, I say upped, I don't know how good he is at those kind of games, but certainly seems to be quite good on the grass. I'm not trying to have a dig at anyone, by the way, I'm just having a bit of fun with it. I don't mean it to be insulting to anyone when I say stuff like that, so don't take it the wrong way. Not that I think you would anyway, you're a decent bunch of lads, but you never know. Some people are very sensitive souls. Ginger Cracker looks like he's going to give us a bit of action now. He's right on the back of White Shark Jim's Ford Mustang. What's going to happen here? Looks fruity to me. Worth a mention that Chewy's still in first place, so doing a grand old job up there at the top spot. I might actually flick the tyre wear on and see if he's done a pit stop. I really can't remember if he did or not. So Ginger Cracker dropping off the back of Jim. It was incredibly close at the beginning of that lap, but towards the end of lap 14 he's dropped back a little bit. Moz back up into third position, Ribber in second. We'll just give a bit of credit to Chewy as he comes over the line as well, so we'll stick on board with Chewy for a full lap and see how the Maestro does it. Nice and calm. What you really notice about these top guys, the fast guys, they're always so smooth, really smooth with the steering inputs and the braking and the acceleration as well. There's no jerky movements really going on anywhere. Running it a little bit wide there, but you can do that any wider than that and it'd have been slightly more panicking. So looking in his rear view mirror as well, no one behind him to worry about. He's just hot lapping now, trying to keep those consistent lap times coming in. Whilst the guys behind are working incredibly hard to try and catch him up. Again, just nice and neat, nice and steady, not pushing it too late on the brakes, no real moments where he's got to correct the wheel or anything like that. So good lap there we've seen from Chewy. Nicely done. Oh, Moz just taking a little bit of extra curb on the exit there, on the apex, sorry, of the last corner. Bumped his way over it. Can unsettle the car quite drastically if you do take too much of that curb, so can be a bit of a big error if you take too much speed into it and do that. White Shark Jim going down the inside of Phil. Oh, not quite. Interesting combination of cars really this, the VW Scirocco front wheel drive and then the rear wheel drive Ford Mustang. Two cars that you don't see used that much. I'm not saying that they're never used by anyone, but they're not the most popular cars. I actually tested the Mustang quite a bit and I nearly convinced myself to use it and kind of wish I had now. Now I see White Shark Jim doing very well every week in it. Just skipping a little bit further back, CJW is still leading away from the guys behind, Street Boy and Faithful Seymour. CJW in 7th, Street Boy in 8th, Faithful Seymour in 9th. That might change as I speak though, not quite. The diff, oh no, I didn't want to see that. Oh, looked like they're having quite a good close battle and a good race then, and it looked like they were all about to punch up a little bit and start driving around in a free train. So Faithful Seymour losing out a little bit with oversteer and drops himself back. He's not lost the position, but he's lost the slipstream and obviously the chance to catch the guys in front easily. JRC has now got a victim sitting in front of him to attack. Rick and myself right at the back, having a very boring, lonely race, quite frankly. I'm speaking for myself anyway. I don't know, Rick might have enjoyed it, but yeah, we're just driving around waiting for race 2 personally. Whoa, there you go. That's how you do it properly, JRC. None of this scuffing the wall. Stop it dead if you're going to do it. Luckily, I'm in 12th position, so it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So this battle seems to have been going on race long, really. CJW, Faithful Seamer and JRC seem to have been overtaking each other a lot through this one. It's JRC and Faithful Seamer together now though. And then further ahead we've got Street Boy. Oh, a bit of dust in the background as he just run a little bit wide. Yep, he's just trying to scrub the tyres a little bit, get rid of the dirty tyres there by the look of it before he turns into there. Which is quite a wise move without anyone right on your rear bumper. You can obviously do stuff like that. The experience of these guys showing at times in these races. It's been a couple of occasions over the past races that we've the past 6 races before this one, which has really shown some good experience and good racecraft and good kind of race knowledge in a way as well, to be able to pull off some of the moves and also avoid some of the contact that would have happened. And just being wise, just being clever about your driving instead of just trying to be as aggressive as possible on every single lap. So White Shark, Jim and Phil, again, still battling away. No position change as of yet. Phil's still holding off Jim. It's getting close though. Well and truly in the slipstream is Jim. Skipping a little bit higher, we've got Moz and Ribber together now. They're both from the Independent Gran Turismo Sport Hungarian League. I think I've got that right. Something like that anyway. I'm guessing they're probably more or less teammates at times in other leagues when they race together. Well, they're certainly familiar with each other anyway. But following each other quite nicely. Chewy just having a race of his own, probably quite a boring one at this point. He's been on his own for quite a long time, but you don't mind too much when you're in the lead. River and Moz dancing around by the look of it, tangoing all over the metaphorical ballroom. That couldn't have been, that made me sound like I'm about 70 saying that, what I was saying. Oh dear. Just trying to keep a bit of context to the whole race and everyone's positions at the moment. Ripper and Moz are battling the hardest at the moment, really. I'll just skip through and see if there's anything else going on. CJW is still leading from Street Boy in 8th. So they seem to be having a good race, those two. Bit of a gap between them, so nothing to worry about pressure-wise too much, but still, it's anyone's. Faithful Seamer and JRC doing a very similar thing. So these GTRs, they all seem to race together basically. If you've noticed through the field, we've got River, Moz in a GTR that are racing together, CJW and Street Boy, which are both in a GTR, and then JRC and Faithful Seamer as well. So you really can, you might end up dropping back a little bit, but if there's another GTR around you, you can certainly have a good race for the full half an hour in this championship so far. And it's given us some good action to watch at the end of the day as well, because they're so similar that they can stick together so easily. We've got the same acceleration, same top speed, and all the rest of it. So Faithful Seamer diving down the inside of JRC. Difference in lines though allows JRC to get the cut back. Tiny bit of contact there, but nothing too bad. And JRC just manages to get back through. Not a lot going on at the back. Rick in 11th, me in 12th. We'll jump back on with Ribber. Oh, something went wrong with my control then. Ribber and Moz. I think this is our closest battle towards the end. Just under 2 minutes to go. Worth mentioning, even though I should have done it about half an hour ago, that one of the drivers didn't join us this week for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure. Robert the Hood. So unfortunate we've lost him this week, but I do believe he will be back with us next week after speaking to him earlier in the week about it. All sorts are going on from Muzzer. I'll call him Muzzer, but it's Muzzy? Because it's just Muzzy, isn't it? Yeah. Never actually properly looked. Battling hard, these two, look. Relentless stuff from Moz in third, putting the pressure on Ribber. Anyway, we'll quickly skip through once again just before we come right to the end, because we're going to be on the last lap now. For most people anyway. Might be the odd one or two that get onto the next lap. CJW going wide, right towards the end of this race. He's giving himself a bit of a problem with Street Boy right behind him, so didn't want to do that. But manages to get away with it though and hold 7th position for the time being anyway. Street Boy's got the run on the exit though. I see in the side mirror there that Street Boy's just backed off. Let CJW take the racing line. Didn't want to force too much of an aggressive move. And I credit Street Boy for that. He's really, really fair for those kind of things. Really fair, almost too fair sometimes. So nice to see is that. White Shark Jim's finished now. So White Shark Jim's finished in 4th. Phil's finished in 5th. Ginger Crackhead's finished in 6th. CJW brings it over the line in 7th. Street Boy right behind him in 8th. Faithful Seymour not far behind in 9th. JRC similar, not much of a gap in 10th. Rick 33 GTI is going to bring it home in 11th. And then you've got ADG 123 in 12th. So we will jump back on board with Chewy and watch him come over, well, finish off this lap and come over the line. Give him a little bit of respect. We will look at Moz briefly and see what's gone on there. Yep, it looks like Ribber's still got the position. But yeah, brilliant race from Chewy. He had quite a bad start. He dropped down into 4th position from pole position. But it's a good job he got that pole position, because even though he had a bad start, he didn't drop too far back, and because of that he was able to climb back up quite quickly towards the beginning of the race and get himself up into 1st after a couple of little incidents as well worth mentioning. So yeah, he found himself in 2nd following Ribber and then got past to win the race. Ribber finishing in 2nd in the end and Moz in 3rd. So, thank you very much for joining me. Feel free to join me for the next one, race 8, which I've forgotten which track it is because my memories are shocking. And yeah, take care. See you again soon. I really appreciate you watching, and I really appreciate if you hit that like button if you've enjoyed this. Subscribe and do all that good stuff. Feel free to share it as well. Anyway, take care. Adios, and hopefully I will see you very soon for the next race replay. Bye for now. Stay safe.